Hey there, this is Steve. I've got a BMW here. It's a 535i 2008 E60 with the N54 six-cylinder engine, and it's got a little bit of an issue when you go to do the oil change, and I'll show you here in a second what I mean by that. It gets a little messy. If you've ever done an oil change on one of these, you'll know what I'm talking about. So we're under the car here, and you'll notice here is the access panel to the engine oil drain, and on the oil pan you'll notice the drain plug is on the side, and that's very problematic because if you look at the size of this hole here, if your oil is cold and moving slow, it may come out only to here, but most of the time when you are changing your oil, you pull this plug, it'll shoot all the way over to here, get up in here inside of the belly pan, it'll run all the way pretty much to the back of the car and drip out every single hole you can find. So that was my first experience when I changed the oil the first day I had the car, and then with subsequent oil changes I've learned that you're supposed to put some sort of shield up in here so that the oil hits the shield and drips down into your bucket. But this is painful and messy. So let me show you the solution I found. Alright, this is a Fumoto valve. It's a special kind of ball lock valve that's got a lock on it to keep it from opening when you don't want, and then a secondary retainer to keep it nice and closed. But you can actually thread this in to where the drain plug goes, and then whenever you're going to change your oil, you don't have to worry about torquing that drain bolt back in. All you have to do is remove the clip, open the valve, drain, and look, you can even connect this nipple to a drain tube, run the oil wherever you want, so you don't have to perfectly position your drain pan under there. This is called a Fumoto. The model is F109SX. F109SX. And the F109 is the right thread size for this model of BMW, and a lot of BMWs actually. The SX does two different things. The S is this nipple is short instead of long, which reduces the amount of space that you need up there. And then the X is a 90-degree angle. So normally this would come straight out that direction and drain that direction with a valve. This comes down. So I figured this is a newer model that they added with the 90-degree, and I figured this would be a good fit for that since it comes out of the side and we need it to come down. And I can rotate it like that. I can put it whatever direction I need up there. So basically, to install this, you just need to order it before your next oil change. I'll put the link in the comments in the description. But you just order this cool little puppy and change your oil, and instead of putting the drain plug back in, put this in. So let's get started. I'm going to change my oil and then I'll show you how we install this and I position this. Alright, you can see my makeshift shield. This is the last time I'll have to do this, hopefully. These are Bondo spreader spatulas, if you're wondering where I got these, but I just duct taped them up in there temporarily so that when the floodgates open, if anything splashes this way, it's going to drip down, and this one too, down into. I stopped using oil pans. I started using a bucket because, especially on this car, you can get it up higher, closer to the oil drain, and there's less spatter. It all ends up in the bucket. Hopefully, that's my hope. So, anyways, last time I have to do this. Alright, would you look at that? I was able to do it, and you can see the stream coming down there. My guess is why this didn't splatter this time and didn't end up everywhere is because my garage and the car is about 40 degrees. So that oil's pretty cold. I didn't warm the car up because I didn't want to make a total mess in here, and also I've got some extra time to let it drain slowly. I'm in no hurry. Alright, so we've got the Fumoto valve installed in here. You'll see
I originally had it pointed straight down, but this lever, I didn't realize we had so much open space this way. We probably could have gone without the SX if you want, but the SX, if you turn it like this, so that it's at a bit of an angle backwards until it touches the side of the oil pan there. I was just checking clearance here. You'll see that we've got about 1/8 of an inch of clearance between the very bottom of the undercarriage there and the tab, and then we've got probably 1/2 inch at least of clearance before you hit the brass valve and the nipple. So if something were to happen and we skidded the bottom of the car, I don't know, jumping railroad tracks or whatever, there's a chance that this would get a bit of road rash on it. Most likely this would just bend back, but because of the design of the valve, it won't open. So one of the advantages of having this valve is that you could do oil sampling. So let's say, just open it a little bit, get a little sample of the oil in there. It's got a little more engine oil to drain out of there. I kind of installed this while it was dripping, so I'm gonna put the bucket back under there, let it drain for a while before I fill up with oil. So anyways, I think this will work. If you like this design that it comes down, I think it would be easier to put a tube on this way, but I suppose with the non-X version, the F109S would come out this way. Short nipple would probably come out to there, so you still have a bit of room to put a hose on over here and then drain it out. So anyways, we'll finish draining this, finish this up, but this is the Fumoto 109SX. And again, if you don't want the 90-degree, because if you're concerned with clearance, I don't jump railroad tracks, so I'm not too concerned. But if you want the straight valve, it's the F109S would be the short nipple. F109 without the S would be the long nipple. It would come out a little bit further. You get an extra 1/2 inch to grab onto there. So, all right. Thanks for watching.